Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into one of history's really big mysteries. Why did the dinosaurs go extinct?
Yeah, the classic question.
It is. But, okay, get ready, because our source for this deep dive is, well, it's different. It's a really unique, funny, short podcast script.
Right.
And it offers this incredibly unconventional, sort of humorous take on this huge topic.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission today is basically to unpack these surprising and pretty entertaining theories from the script. We want to explore what makes them funny, but also maybe surprisingly thought-provoking.
It's true. The source we're looking at definitely leans into the comedy, maybe even the absurd.
Only absurd.
But what's fascinating, I think, is how humor, especially this kind of humor, can sort of unexpectedly sharpen our focus, make us look at complex things from a completely fresh angle.
Yeah.
And the script, it introduces these two distinct voices. There's a smart dino and a silly dino.
Right.
And they each embody, very different ways of thinking about the world and specifically about their own extinction.
Okay, let's unpack this then. So the smart dino, he tries to set the serious tone right, wants a deep discussion about extinction.
Yeah, tries to keep it scientific.
But then silly dino just jumps right in with its first theory, which is, well, it's a modern classic, isn't it? Simple, no Wi-Fi, no Swiggy, no Netflix, life got boring, so we rage quit.
Huh. Right, and for anyone listening who doesn't know, Swiggy is like a big food delivery app.
Exactly, like DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever you use. And just the image, picturing a T-Rex, furious about buffering speeds.
Or no takeaway. It's brilliant.
It's just the sheer comedic incongruity.
Exactly. And, that image, it isn't just silly. It cleverly uses these really relatable modern frustrations.
Totally relatable.
To kind of satirize this basic human thing we do.
Yeah.
Trying to simplify huge, complex problems into something we can grasp immediately, even if it's completely absurd in context.
Oh, okay. Like a coping mechanism.
Yeah, sort of. It's like a comedic mirror reflecting our own ways of dealing with big unknowns. And the smart dino's reaction, that immediate, exasperated, seriously.
Yeah.
That's not just a punchline. It really anchors the script,
Yeah.
It highlights this huge gap between wanting easy answers and, doing the hard work of science.
Right. But the silly dino isn't finished, is it? It follows up with another theory, maybe even more explosive, literally.
Oh, yeah.
Get this. Also, one dino tried cooking Maggie in a volcano. Boom.
Maggie, like the instant noodles.
Yeah. Maggie, for lots of people, it means instant noodles. Quick, easy meal. Can you even imagine? Not an asteroid, not climate change.
But a prehistoric cooking disaster with noodles.
Exactly. It paints this picture of a whole species just wiped out by an unbelievably mundane domestic blunder.
The brilliance of that Maggie in a volcano idea is right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
In that perfect comedic mismatch. Taking something everyday, almost trivial like instant noodles, and sticking it right at the catastrophic heart of prehistory. It's a masterclass in using hyperbole and absurdity when they're grounded in something relatable to just explode a concept, literally in this case, and challenge our expectations of what an explanation should even look like.
Yeah.
And then the smart dino's final line, that sort of lament, this is why we can't do serious science.
Right.
That really hammers home the script's core message, I think. It implicitly champions that careful, often not so glamorous, search for scientific understanding.
Even when faced with these easy, funny stories.
Exactly. It's kind of the voice of reason trying to cut through all the noise, but satirized for our entertainment.
So what's the takeaway here for us? We've just explored some truly wild reasons for dinosaur extinction.
Pretty wild.
From the no Wi-Fi, no Swiggy, no Netflix theory leading to this massive rage quit, to the idea of one dino trying to cook Maggie in a volcano and just boom.
Indeed. And this deep dive, even though it's based on something really comedic, I think it powerfully shows how different perspectives, even really absurd ones, can actually prompt us to think more deeply about these huge events. And it kind of playfully highlights that tension, that contrast between our human desire for simple stories and the tough demands of complex science.
Which the smart dino keeps trying to point out with his serious science comment.
Right. That exasperated but, insightful call for it. And just as a fun fact, if you're curious how that original script actually ended, it described these unique sound effects, a toaster pop, some sizzling magma, and an audience laugh track.
A toaster pop. Wow. Okay. A fittingly absurd end.
Absolutely.
Which kind of leaves them with this final provocative thought for you, the listener. What's seemingly simple or maybe even absurd explanation for something really complex has ever made you pause and maybe consider a totally new, perhaps even humorous angle.
Something to think about.
Definitely. Thanks for diving deep with us today.